Gift giving is pretty much unavoidable around this time of year, so I've put together my top gift ideas in various price brackets for the design-conscious individual. So to kick things off in the 0 to 50 price bracket, I have these tools from Hoto, who are recent winners of a Red Dot Design Award for their toolbox range. And seeing that every household is in need of a screwdriver or a measuring tape, these elegant and minimalist tools would be a welcome gift for DIYers, cyclists, PC builders, or pretty much anyone who owns a home with a screw or 4 walls. Next up is this Moleskine weekly planner, which is absolutely ideal for this time of year, seeing as we're just about to enter into 2024. And this could be a great gift for students or pretty much anyone working a desk job. And this is actually the planner that I still use myself to this day, as I'm yet to find anything that's as efficient as the layout that you can get in this one, which has a structured week laid out on the left-hand side of the page, and then a blanked ruled page on the right-hand side for other to-do lists and anything else you've got going on. Much like their planner, their notebooks or cahiers are also great for anyone who's into note-taking or sketching, or for anyone who's looking to be a little bit more mindful. And these are also the notebooks that I use for myself whenever I have a lot on my mind and I simply need to get it out onto a page, which really helps me calm down and settle some of my anxiety. And I think if you pair this with a mechanical pencil or a fine liner from a brand like Uni, this would make for an incredible gift. And I am a really big fan of their Kuratoga mechanical pencil, which is also the brand that I use myself, as they never get blunt because the lead rotates as you sketch with it. And then when it comes to fine liners, Uni do nice ones, which are the ones that I use, but I also am a big fan of the Pigma Micron fine liners, as well as the Muji rollerballs if you're someone who writes with a little bit more pressure than the average person. Now, moving away from the world of pens and paper and into the world of coffee, one of my favorite recommendations is the AeroPress, as these are perfect for people who enjoy buying a Starbucks but haven't really ventured into the world of home brewing. I've been using one of these for years and they are a great way for making coffee for one. However, if you are brewing for more than one person, I'd also recommend looking into the Hario V60. Now this also makes for another great gift. However, doing pour over coffee does require a lot of control, so you are a lot better off if you're using it in conjunction with something like a gooseneck kettle. And as these can be expensive, my recommendation would be to look into the Hario Switch, which is what we've been using recently. And I'm absolutely in love with ours because I was getting really sick and tired of doing multiple pours into my pour over coffee every single morning. Whereas with the Hario Switch, you can simply dump your water on top of it, give it a stir and let it brew for around 2.5 minutes. And this is a perfect gift for existing pour over users or someone who's coming from something like a French press, as it leaves no sediment in the bottom of your coffee. Now, moving away from the world of coffee, another great gift at this price point is a knife set, as these can make a really nice upgrade from the cheap plasticky kitchen knives that you may tend to find in some of your friends and family's kitchen drawers. Now, we've been really impressed with this Babish knife set, as it gives you the 3 main knives that you need, and they're also made from German high carbon steel. So this could make for a great gift for foodies or aspiring cooks, as it also comes in this really presentable knife roll, and it helps that it just is amazing quality. It comes in at a low price, and it's merch from Andrew Ray, who is one of the most loved cooks on YouTube. Another great gift is a MagSafe wallet, as these are a great gift for someone who's looking to reduce pocket bulk or someone who's already using something small like a card sleeve. And what you should know about these is that they're not just for Apple users, as they pair really well with MagSafe phone cases for other brands of phones. So seeing as my wife is a Pixel user, she could actually use my MagSafe wallet on her device, as we both use the same MagSafe chargers and MagSafe car mounts. As with a MagSafe case, it all becomes cross-compatible. And some great MagSafe cases to pair these with are those from ESR and Taurus, as some of these also come with kickstands, which are great for people who are taking frequent video calls or watching videos while they eat. However, to take this up a notch, you could also gift a MagSafe water bottle, which is essentially exactly what the name indicates, which is a water bottle with a MagSafe ring on the top, which is also really handy as a tripod too. And then along this same line, you could also pick up a MagSafe power bank or a nano power bank for that one friend with an iPhone mini who always tends to be running out of battery. And I think these are great to just keep in your bag for emergencies, as they're super lightweight compared to other power banks too. Another great gift, I think, is a white noise machine, and I think these can make for great gifts if you happen to know anyone who struggles sleeping. Now, I would just give a word of caution, as some people don't like being prescribed things, so make sure you know that the recipient would be happy to receive something like this. But we have a family member who stayed over once and tried our daughter's one, and she loved it so much that she went away and bought one for herself. And honestly, I didn't know that this was something I needed either until we had our daughter. But during the night, a lot of people don't tend to realize how noises like traffic or birdsong can easily wake you up. And then again, in the same line of wellness and prescribing people things that they don't know they needed, blue light blocking glasses would be another one, as they're incredibly cheap and very useful for sleep hygiene too, as well as a nice looking alarm clock, as this just really helps to keep your phone out of the bedroom. And then in this price point, another great gift would be a small speaker like the Amazon Echo or Pop. However, if you're buying for someone who you think might be a little bit averse to all of this smart tech, another great mini speaker is the Soundcore Mini 3. And these things put out an impressive amount of bass, and they fit really nicely inside of a bottle holder inside your bag or car. And then going along with the same theme of sound, Soundcore's P20i earbuds are also a really great gift, and they'd be perfect for someone who's still rocking an old pair of earbuds, or that person who just seems unwilling to upgrade. And if I'm honest, Soundcore are absolutely crushing it right now in the value for money department, so it's likely that you'll probably see a lot of their products in this list. I have to say that this price point is probably the hardest and the most popular too, as a lot of people tend to be looking for gifts for stocking stuffers or secret Santas. And unfortunately, what happens is a lot of people end up just buying useless junk that the recipient often ends up just throwing away. Now, at the $50 to $100 price point, you're going to see a lot of improvements from what I mentioned in the first price point. So instead of just a nano power bank or a MagSafe power bank, you could get a PD power bank for anyone who's a regular laptop user. And these things are great as they can quickly fast charge your laptop, which completely frees you from sitting next to an outlet when you're working remotely at somewhere like a coffee shop. And then if you see yourself staying at that spot for a long period of time, you can unplug your power bank and then quickly set it on charge at that outlet across the other side of the room, where you could continue this process for hours if you wanted to. Another great gift is a MagSafe charging stand, like this one that I recently gifted myself from Anker. I have to say that these are definitely overpriced for what they actually do, but they just look incredible and can really tidy up a desk or nightstand. I absolutely love mine, and I honestly think that a good gift is usually something that someone wants but just finds a little bit too unjustifiable to actually pull the trigger on. So an indulgent item like this, I think, is perfect. Speaking of indulgence, spending near to $100 on a pen can seem a little bit crazy. However, rotaring pens and pencils have a lot of prestige in the design industry, especially amongst architects. So this would make for a great gift for any designer and would be a really big step up for note-taking and sketching. And they're not really a status symbol like what you get with a Mont Blanc pen, which I think makes them a lot more tasteful too. Again, in this price category, you could also go for some Hoto tools like their electric screwdrivers or their tool set, which would make for a great gift for a DIYer or someone who's really into building their IKEA furniture or someone who's recently moved into a new apartment. Another decent quality item that you simply can't get in the previous price bracket is a good bag, where I would highly recommend Bellroy for their backpacks and slings. And if you happen to know someone who's a bit of an urban adventurer or a hiker, slings are really nice to have as they free up your pockets for guys and they're a lot more comfortable than purses for women. And I always find that I take one of these with me whenever I need to go out with my wife and daughter or whenever I'm going hiking. As in the summer, it also means you get a lot less sweaty than when you're wearing a backpack too. Now, another great gift for a heavy laptop user would be a good quality wireless mouse, where I think that Logitech's Anywhere 3S mouse is probably the best mouse on the market in my opinion, as it tracks on anything including surfaces like glass, it has absolutely flawless and fast connectivity, as well as silent clicking and super smooth scrolling. And because it can connect up to 3 devices, it's really useful if you're usually switching between your laptop, your home computer, and your work computer. And what's impressed me about this is that it manages to do this without creating almost any friction. Now, if you happen to know your gift recipient's shoe size, I think Birkenstocks are actually a really great gift as they are a really classic take on slippers, in my opinion. I'm actually wearing a pair right now as I find them to be a lot more breathable than traditional slippers, and because they have a cork footbed, they're also really supportive and comfortable as well. So because of this, they're really good for people who use standing desks as they really help to reduce foot fatigue, and they're also multifunctional as you can simply just use them as sandals in the summer if you want to as well. Now, another great gift from Soundcore is their new Motion 300 that they recently released, which has actually been compared to Bose's SoundLink, which has been rated pretty much the best portable speaker for the longest time. However, this is miles cheaper and gets you 90% of the way there, and it looks really similar as well. In this price point, you also get into the realm of buying digital devices like tablets, where a device like the Kindle Paperwhite can be a great gift for kids or people who are getting into reading ebooks. And I really love Kindles as there are no distractions when compared to a tablet. And since using my iPad mini, I have to say that I do prefer using it. However, I do find myself a lot more distracted on it too. So despite being a minimalist, there kind of is a case for both. But speaking of which, minimalists love multifunctional products. And one of the best do-it-all products that I know is the Leatherman Super Tool, as they seem to have everything jam-packed into something that can literally fit in the palm of your hand. So seeing as most people need a pair of pliers in their toolbox, a tool like this gives you that plus everything else like a knife and a saw blade. And I find myself reaching for mine all the time, which I was kindly gifted from one of my good friends back in the UK. And finally, to round off this list, I have another water bottle, which is the self-cleaning water bottle from Lark, which I think would be incredibly useful for someone who carries a water bottle with them to work every day. As because the UV light kills all of the bacteria inside of the bottle, you don't have to worry about cleaning them quite so often, which is really one of the last things you want to be doing at the end of a long workday. I actually have one of these, but I left mine back in the UK because it was simply just a little bit too heavy to pack with me amongst all of the other things we had to bring over to Canada. And that's because I got the insulated version, which has quite a bit of weight to it. So if you're going to get one of these, I would say, unless you really need to have ice cold water, go for the non-insulated version. Now, moving on to the $100 plus price point, these are the more luxury items in this long list, and some of the things that I found to be really good, or things that I'm simply lusting over and can't quite bring myself to buy yet. Now, first up is a cordless diffuser, as diffusers are fantastic for making your home smell really good, which helps to improve your mood and hide some of the nastier smells that might be lurking around without introducing a bunch of toxins into the air. And the thing that I really don't like about our current wired one is that the wires just tend to look really ugly. Whereas if you keep one on a charging dock, you can simply leave it there on charge and then move it to wherever you need to in the home. So because a lot of bathrooms don't tend to have plugs which allow you to place a diffuser next to them, a cordless diffuser completely solves this problem. Next up, I'm going to say some really obvious things here, like some good quality noise cancelling headphones like the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra as well as the AirPods Max, as these are great for just blocking out ambient noise, as well as some good noise cancelling in-ear earbuds like the AirPods Pros, which I recently picked up for myself, and the Pixel Buds Pros, which I picked up for my wife. And then at this price point too, you're also looking at smartwatches like some of the more budget options like the Apple Watch SE or the Google Pixel 1 or a Fitbit. Some other ideas for people who already have some of this tech would be things like premium watch bands, like this titanium watch band that I've got for my Apple Watch Ultra. And you can also get more jewelry inspired watch bands for women. And then going back to coffee lovers, another great gift I think is the Fellow Ode 2 grinder, which is something that I have been lusting over for ages, as they produce a really even grind for filter coffee and they have a really nice design too. But I simply can't bring myself to spend that much on a grinder quite yet, as we only got our budget entry-level one just a year ago. Again, another great gift from Fellow would be their Stag gooseneck kettle, which just looks absolutely stunning, but it's obviously way overpriced for what it does. And then on the food side of things, for serious foodies, you could also get them a sous vide like this one from Breville. And what's great about this one, other than its really minimal design, is that it has a magnetic base, so it simply sticks to the bottom of most steel pots. And as I'm a really big fan of our NutriBullet, another great gift would be a blender. However, as NutriBullets don't really have the nicest of designs, I think a great gift would be this blender from Beast. However, despite it costing more, it looks way nicer with its beautiful fluted glass container. And then again, at this price point, you could also look at Hoto for some of their toolboxes, which are the products that actually won them their Red Dot Design Award this year. And some other great gifts would be some of Dyson's hair products like their hair dryers and their air wrap, as I know that my wife has been really keen to get one of these for the longest of times, but I simply can't justify how much these cost right now. I'm a terrible husband. And then finally, almost comically to end this list, is a gift that my wife actually got me a while back, which is a Xbox Elite 2 controller, which is great if you want to support your partner's destructive gaming habit. But something like that or the PlayStation DualSense Edge are great upgrades for any gamer, and a gift that I'm sure that they would appreciate. But with that, that wraps up my list, and if none of the items seems to be helpful whatsoever, I would just say that one of the best gifts that you can give is simply an experience, as it also helps to minimize some of the mindless consumerism that tends to happen around this time of year. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!